call this Board of Education meeting to order. Please join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Deviate from the agenda for just a moment. In light of everything that's been going on this weekend, if we could just take a moment for silence to honor those who died and who were injured this last weekend in the attacks in Paris. Thank you. I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda with the following amendments. Additional certified and classified personnel actions, item E3, and replace the list of site council members, PTO for Buffalo Jones Elementary School and Farmville Elementary School with the attached revised list, item E5B.
Motion to approve the agenda as amended. Is there a second? Seconded by Mark. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And just so you all know, I believe all the tornado warnings have expired, but we're under a thunderstorm warning at this point. So since we're hearing the thunder, just to let you all know. And now I believe we're ready for delegations and public comments.
I would like to introduce Linda Ackerman, who is president of the Garden City Education Association, and they have requested to be on the agenda for the presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Carlin. We are here representing GCEA, and we are very thankful as we kick off American Education Week for your support and what you do for us, for our students, for our staff, for our teachers. And we would like to give you a very small token of our appreciation. So we have some bags. This is Ronnie Knight, she's our head negotiator, and Chris Carr is our treasurer, and Wendy Terpstra is our secretary.
Well, thank you very much.
You are very welcome. Thank you. Thank you a lot. I didn't know
Got a reputation. Well, we've had lots of candy at negotiations.
Kind of an inside joke there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Stay safe out there. And now we have a recognition of excellence of wellness award winners for August, September, and October. Polly, will you be doing this one, or?
Polly and I will be kind of working together on this one. So one of the things that our wellness committee is doing is identifying wellness affiliates, one a month from across the district. These people are selected by our wellness committee for achievements in their personal and professional lives. And what we're going to do is, about 3 times a year, we're going to ask those people to come to a board meeting and be recognized. So probably November and February and May or June, depending on the timing of the meeting in May. We have 2 of the 3 that were selected this year are August and September winners are able to be here, and one is out with a family medical issue. So first is Ken Kerr. Ken was selected for August. He's a maintenance supervisor in the district. He deserves to be recognized by USD-457 for his outstanding role modeling of the importance of healthy lifestyle changes. Ken participates in most of the district wellness activities and challenges, such as the blood draws, the fun run walks, and the corporate cup. He's an avid walker, runner, bike rider on a daily basis. He encourages other district employees to make healthy lifestyle changes by sharing his story about healthy choices and how lifestyle changes can improve your health. So Paulie's going to present Ken with the award. Ken, do you have anything you'd like to say?
On Ken's behalf, he participated in our labs and he recognized he wanted to make some lifestyle changes. And so I think this is a good reason why we should continue to offer the labs for our employees so that they can recognize some things that they want to do. And he totally made the commitment to change some of his behaviors. So he has done a great job and he shares the story with lots of people in the district. So thank you, Ken.
The September honoree is Michelle Thompson. Michelle is a teacher at Charles Stone's Intermediate Center. She's being recognized for her motivation to work out, eat healthy, and to encourage others to do the same. 4 years ago, Michelle decided to start living a healthy lifestyle. Since then, she has improved her health by eating healthy and exercising. She leads by example both at school and at home. She runs or walks with students in the mornings. She's always looking for new workouts to get as many staff members involved in participating as possible. She's been instrumental in getting students to participate in local races, and Charles Stone's Intermediate Center has won the prize for getting the most student staff members to the District 5K for both of the last 2 years. So, Michelle, congratulations.
I just got done working out. Michelle is really bringing the students along to change their lifestyle as well as the staff. And she leads students and staff in several workouts and gives them a good workout. She's our guru. So.
And the October winner, who's unable to be here tonight, is Teresa Hughes. Teresa is the school nurse and wellness champion for Gertrude Walker and Jenny Barker Elementary School. She deserves to be recognized by USD-457 for her outstanding leadership as wellness champion and as school nurse for both of her schools. Both schools received bronze national recognition by the Alliance for a Healthier Generation at the National Conference in Washington, D.C., which Paulie and Teresa and Tracy Johnson were here earlier this fall. Both of her schools also received the 2015 National Let's Move Active School Award. Teresa has incorporated family health and fitness nights at both schools for the last several years. She's applied for and received several grants, such as the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Power Panther Pals, to gain funding to support healthy habits during the school year. She also participates in district-wide health activities and encourages others to participate as well. So we'll make sure Teresa receives her award at her school when she returns.
We'll give her a hand here. And we thank all of the wellness champions, but we really do want to thank our outstanding ones for this first go-around in the district. So thank you both for coming.
Ms. Housechild, I see you brought some people to our meeting today.
I did bring just a few friends with me tonight.
Would you like to come up and introduce them all and talk to us about them?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having us. We appreciate the chance to come and talk a little bit about our school. And we'll probably, as we go through our presentation, maybe just go ahead and introduce them, or would you like for me to introduce them now?
Your pleasure.
Well, I can introduce them now.
It's up to you.
We have Karen Merle, of course, who is our associate principal, and Paula Corby, who is our literacy coach. Michelle Law is 5th grade math. Penny Douglas, PE. Joan Nakuda is an interventionist. Crystal Teeter is one of our 5th grade teachers. Amanda Wilkinson is one of our special education teachers. Sandy Raper is one of our 6th grade communication teachers. And we have Sarah Renfrew is one of our special education teachers. Cole, who's a previous student. And he gets to come because Mom brings him. And Lynn Boitano, who is one of our sixth grade communication teachers. And Gail Moore, who is secretary and on our site council. Pat Stubbs, who is, she is a parent and on our site council. Holly, who is our First National Bank representative and on our site council. And Jonas Cruz, who's on our site council. So thank you guys for all coming tonight. All right. So we're going to start and we're going to share a little bit about Bernadine Sitz, and we're going to do that by several different presentations that we have. So we'll go ahead and start with Penny Douglas, and she'll tell you a little bit about our focus school status. All right.
Okay, so this is our fourth year on the bonus focus school, which includes a $25,000 grant, which helps. We have 7 active indicators that they were submitted in October to the state, and they were rated exceptional and acceptable on all. We have 4 SMART goals. The first SMART goal is for the 2015-16 school year. BSIC will increase the percentage of students in Tier 1 for math on the MCAP and the MComp by 10% on the Spring Ames Web assessment. The goal 2 for the 2015-16 school year, BSIC will increase the percentage of students in Tier 1 for reading, the RCBM and the Maze by 10% on the Spring assessment, Ames web assessment. Goal 3 for the 2015-16 school year, BSIC will decrease the percentage of students in Tier 3 for reading and math by 5% on the Spring Ames web assessment. And the 4th goal, by spring 2016 submission, BSIC will fully have met indicators number 88, 94, and number 1,570.
Some of the benefits that we've been seeing as far as our growth, and we'll talk about the numbers here in a little bit. The MTSS process of walk-to interventions, we've united kind of as a teaching as 5th grade communication, 6th grade math, 6th grade communication, 5th grade math. We're seeing a lot of good growth, and when you take ownership as a building as opposed to just the children that walk through your door on a daily basis with your class, it helps everyone grow. The student data that we'll talk about is going to show that we are seeing good growth there. Our PLCs are helping us come up with ideas and ways. The professional development is another opportunity that comes to us because of the $25,000 grant. But the collaboration, coming up with ideas of what might work for intervention for those struggling kids is something that I see as a really good positive that comes from our PLCs. And so.
And we laugh about that focus school status, that it's a bonus, but it has been kind of a bonus for us because we have become way more focused than what we were as far as looking at that MTSS process and that those tiers and looking at what we really can do to help those students who are struggling and that walk-to intervention, what we can do to help them. So although it was a very rough beginning, it has really helped us and we appreciate that. So. And our next two.
One of the things we do really well at BSIC is parent engagement and community involvement. And we just kind of wanted to take a minute to highlight some of those things and kind of give credit to the parents and the community that are involved with our school. So far this year, we have managed to have at least one event where the parents are involved with us or in our building, one event each month. And that's a pretty great thing to do. We had open house in August, had a really nice turnout for that. We had 5th grade data night and 6th grade data night, September and October, within a week of each other. 6th grade, us, we beat the 5th graders. We had more parents come in and be involved, so good job 6th grade teachers.
Might want to just say, what did you do on those nights?
On data night, we discussed the Ames web testing that we've done so far, and we go over what that testing looks like with parents. We give them what their student scores are and kind of explain what they can do to help their children at home. They see this information from us, but they don't always understand what it means. So we show them what it means, we show them the data for our building, and then we give them tips and tricks and strategies, and even show them a little bit about what AIMS web testing looks like. Student-teacher conferences, we had about 98% participation for parent-teacher conferences, which is fantastic. And those are student-led, so our students are the ones who are presenting their information to their parents. And that means they get to take responsibility for what their grades are and what they're learning. And I see a lot of pride in the kids by doing a parent-teacher conference that's all about them and led by them. November, just a couple weeks ago, we had KCCRS Family Night. And this night, we invite parents and their students to come in. We do a whole bunch of different games and activities that are educational based. Again, giving parents things to help out their students at home. And
Literally giving them things.
Yes,
things
literally.
that they can take home with them and do with their kids. That are simple, instructions are pretty well spelled out on papers that we give to them that they can take home and do.
And this year we also, they got math games to take home. Every student that came got a free book to take home. We had about 53 families, and they also got to browse through a group, or I guess a bunch of books that were donated by the staff or by teachers in the building, and they got to take home extra books. So we're really encouraging that literacy piece. And then coming up, we have some concerts, the orchestra, the choir, the band, and the art show next month for December. So that gives us one thing each month since the beginning of the year.
Okay, so our PTO puts together a lot of things. They've, once a month we have Freddie's fundraisers. We got to do Wendy's, I don't remember what month that was.
October.
And total so far with that, we have brought in $820. They just got done with the pecan sales and we didn't have the totals added up yet for how much we've made with that. We have lots of site council meetings once a month.
Every other month.
Every other month, and I know Ms. Law is going to go into that a little bit further. And Ms. Hochschild got to be a part of a radio show.
Which was very interesting. We'll just leave it at that. All right.
And for community involvement, we have 4 teachers earned the Kiwanis grants. 2 of the teachers are 6th grade teachers, and we put together a book-making project. Every single student in 6th grade will have made their own hardbound published book, and they get to take that home for free. And if they want to purchase more, they can. We have Real Men, Real Leaders who come in. We have our weekly bank, and they get to do drawings for putting money into their bank account and earn prizes. We also didn't get on this slide, but we have Big Brothers, Big Sisters that come in as well and work with students.
And just a reminder too, our next Freddie's night is tomorrow
It's tomorrow
night.
night.
So
Yes.
if
Anybody
you would like to
interested?
not cook?
Come join us.
Yes, all right. I'm here to talk about the site council, and most of our members are here this evening. If you would like to stand, Sarah Renfrew. She represents 6th grade and the special education services at that level. I represent 5th grade. Eric Bass is our PE teacher. He represents the Encore. Penny Unruh is on our team, and our council, she's an interventionist. Jana Kennemer is a counselor that represents her area. Gail Moore is here this evening. She represents the classified staff as our awesome secretary. And Roxy Schaefer is also a member from the community, a former parent. Holly Austin is here this evening. She's new on our site council, and she represents First National Bank, which was mentioned as we have a really good bank, student bank going on. And another new member is Jonas Cruz. He represents Rural Men, Rural Leaders, which is another awesome program in our building, so it's nice to have that representation there. And Patricia Stubbs, Dale's hat, the nice sister, right? Represents parents, and she's also been very involved in the school over the years. Paula Corby sits on our site council as literacy coach and the next era of students. And Marcia Taylor couldn't be here tonight. She's a math coach. Little typo there, yes.
Marcia made the slide.
I know. She's had a lot on her plate and might. And Ms. Hochschild sits on the council as well, and Mrs. Merle for assistant principal. So, as you can see, our mission of the site council is to support USD-457 and Bernadine Sitz Intermediate Center, advise and inform the principal, staff, and parents of issues, and provide input on decisions or what's going on in our building, reflection, ideas and support for solutions if there are things that come up that we need to brainstorm, and work toward improving our school. And as I said, our new members were very lucky to have a good representation, I feel like, and lots of good things going on within all those entities, and I hope that they enjoy serving and hear about what school and community working together. So we meet every other month.
Yep.
And any questions on that? All right, thanks.
Okay, data. All of these things work together to help our students grow academically. And it's working, and we're very proud of all this hard work and what we have demonstrated in our data. The 5th grade and 6th grade, these are all fall data points. So we have 3 years of data now that we've been using AimsWeb consistently. When they come in the fall, it's the 5th grade. But every year you notice they came in the fall last year. If you notice the arrows going down diagonally, those are the same kids. So we went from 38 to 48 the first year with our 5th grade to 6th grade, and that's fall to fall. They kept it over the summer. Even with our summer slide and everything, we still were able to maintain 40, and then we go from 48 to 62.3 with our kids last year coming in this year. They actually came in higher this fall than they left us last spring. And I just really congratulated our teachers. I was so proud because I said, what you gave them stuck. And they're going to have it, and they're going to be able to use it and build on it. So I think that's very exciting. And then as you look going from across the 37, even when we're looking then at grade levels, and these aren't the same kids, we still maintained that over 10% growth and even 14. So what we're doing, involving parents, doing our walk to intervention, all of our hard work is really making a difference in kids' lives. And then very similar things, and I'll address the math.
And we see the same thing is happening in math. We started off at 47.5%, then the following fall with the same students we're looking at 56%. So we've seen a lot of increases. We've seen students who are maintaining and remembering what they have learned. And we also have been in contact with both the principals at the 7th, 8th grade centers, and they have mentioned the fact that they are really pleased with the 7th grade scores. So we know that they're not just coming from our school and then going on to 7th grade and forgetting what they've learned. So to us, this has been just, it makes us, well, and it makes us feel good because we know that the students are carrying on what they've learned.
So do you have any questions for us this evening about what you've seen, what you've heard? Good job. We're very proud of what our staff and our kids are doing. They are knocking it out. And, we may not be in those 80s, but you look at the increases.
But they're in sight now.
Yeah. Where they're coming from and where we're taking them to, we're very proud of. So. Anything else?
I'm a huge fan of PLC time, and I would like to hear a little bit about how you use that time and how, if you feel like it's something that we should fight for you on your behalf to get you more of, or where are you at with that?
Well,
I was gonna say, in math, we have, well, in all of them, we have 3 PLCs. And one is a data PLC, and that is where we discuss how are the students doing. It is also a time that we discuss our walk to intervention, how are the students doing? Do we need to tweak some things? Do we need to move some students around to help get them in a better group? And then the other 2, we have one in math in which we do our planning. And that doesn't mean that we sit down and do lesson plans, but we actively talk about what we're going to be doing. How are you going to teach this lesson? Do you remember how this lesson went last year? Oh, I remember this was really a hard concept for the students to get. We need more time to go over it. Or students will say, well, I remember this from college, and this is what, we need to be focusing or working on. And then our third one in math is a strategy one, in which we do bring strategies into the meetings and try to give ideas to the different teachers, because for us, in our group, we've got a couple older ladies, we've got a couple of younger ones, and so it's really nice to have that kind of that mesh so that we can help each other out. We're not alone in what we're doing.
So it's truly collaborative time.
For us and for our math groups, it really is.
And in reading, we do something very similar, communications. On Mondays, we have data day, and we go everything from going over the raw data to actually doing problem solving for individual students that are in walk to intervention, because we have our progress monitoring, we look at their graphs, teachers bring questions, then we brainstorm together for things that we can do to intensify and to make their growth, more what we'd like to see. And it's interesting because we've come so far, because this year I have teachers who are going, well, we need to do problem solving instead of not seeing a value in it. They're spearheading it, and being that driving force. Then on Wednesdays, we do very similar. We do strategy day, where we bring things and share things, and that's also when we incorporate, like we'll do our ethics training and PLCs in December, and those kind of things. And then on Thursdays, we have collaborative planning. And that's where like the 6th grade teachers have gotten together and they're planning this book publishing project, and so that's a time when they can all come together and have that common time to discuss and share ideas and do brainstorming on how things can work best. And I think I've seen a lot of growth in our PLCs over the last.
That's what I have to say is, we've been doing PLCs for a long time. The way we started and where we are right now has changed completely.
Well, and it sounds like it's a productive
Yes.
use of time, and it sounds like the students directly benefit from the time you put in during that carved out time, which is truly what
And it's
we
funny.
need to see to fight for it.
And we have people now looking at our agenda, because we set it out, into the future, and they're like, well, when are we gonna have time to do this? And that's when we're already meeting 3 days a week. So that it has really become a lot more valued.
Than when we started.
Thank you.
Just a follow-up question on that. Do you think you need more PLC time? You said you meet 3 times a week.
Right, we meet 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
30 minutes.
We really
3
work
times
hard
a
at
week.
3 minutes a week.
We're focused.
But it sounds like your building specifically has taken it, carved out the time because you found it a priority, whereas some buildings necessarily
We
might
did that
not.
a number of years ago when we asked whether or not we could change scheduling, and went to the whole work of trying to figure out, this is where we are. We know we're struggling. What are we gonna do to help here? And so, we did. We worked very hard to put it into the schedule and make it work.
And I think to make our walk to intervention more effective, we really
Yes.
need that time to go ahead and do the problem solving on individual students.
Yeah.
That's not after school or before school, because those times will get.
Well, we don't have all kids at that time.
Right. So,
This time, when we put it in the day, we have all kids that need it.
So irregardless of, what's the word I'm supposed to say? A collaborative calendar, or a alternative, it's supposed to be a collaborative calendar, is that what you? Okay. I just screwed it all up. A collaborative calendar, which is always on the table. It sounds like you guys within your building have made it work, irregardless of what a calendar would do.
We had to.
Okay.
We had to make it work for our kids.
And because it was that much of a priority.
Yes.
Okay.
And, you know, was it a struggle? Yeah, it was a big struggle, but it's paid off in the long run.
Thank you for your input.
I go back to my questions. So do you guys think you need more PLC time? Or do you think what you have is working?
I think sufficient.
Because they do have other, you know, it's like,
With
We just
28
need to make
kids
sure
in
we-
the class, I need
yeah.
my time for grading and,
I think 3 times is, for right now, is plenty.
yeah.
Thank you.
You bet.
Please.
I just had a question, not to put you on the spot, but, you know, in what the board, with all the wonderful things that your school is working on, and all of the challenges there, from engaging the parents to transportation to your PLC time and making it work in the classroom, I'm just wondering, is there anything that you would recommend that board members pay attention to as far as an issue that's affecting your school? I mean, I'm not saying the top one, because that would be putting you on the spot, and not looking for a top of the list, but just what's something that needs to be
We have
attention.
3 unfilled positions.
Yeah. We have 3 unfilled positions this year, which
So recruiting and.
recruiting is gonna be a big deal. Making sure that those positions have people in them next year, because we divided all of those children up then in the classrooms that were left, so those classrooms got bigger.
So, yeah, so vacant positions and the ancillary thing of big classes is a challenge. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would just remind everybody, we kind of started off tonight recognizing that it is American Education Week. And so thank you, everybody, for what you do with kids. And site council members that are here tonight, thank you for not only for being here tonight and giving up your time tonight to come and participate with Bernadine Sitz, but thanks for the time that you're given during the year to help out your school. That's important for us. So we appreciate you being here and all you do.
And thanks for braving the weather. None of us really wanted to come out tonight.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate all that you do.
Appreciate it.
I didn't ask, but are there any public comments? I haven't seen any correspondence either, correct? So at this time, I'll look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move we approve this consent agenda as
Motion by Jim, is there a second?
Thanks.
Second by Tim, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Which takes us to the curriculum report. Alice report. Renee?